The Final Fantasy IV event has launched in War of the Visions JP. So, what does that mean for us here in Global? Eventually, we're going to be getting some of our favorite heroes from that world, including the brooding dark hero turned light paladin, Cecil, or Cecil, depending on how you'd like to pronounce it. And in this video, we're going to do a review and a deep dive and analysis, breaking down his kit, discussing what roles he may play in the War of the Visions world, and what he might excel at. And with Warrior of Light right around the corner in War of the Visions Global, the question on everyone's mind is, can Cecil tank? And the answer might surprise you. Maybe. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the House of Gauze. My name is Norgoz, Warlord of the Visions, and I honor you all in my great hall. I appreciate you guys stopping by. I thank you for being here. And if you like the way that we do content here, please give us a thumbs up, subscribe. Come back and see us again. And if you're feeling really froggy, hit that bell icon, get notified of new content as soon as it drops. If you like a little bit more action-oriented content, find us on Twitch Tuesday through Friday. And without further ado, the review. All right, guys, Cecil is going to be a Paladin of the Moon. I'll be calling him Moon Paladin going forward. He is a light element unit, 3 move, 1 jump. Sub-job of Soldier and Monk, so he is going to be more offensive-oriented with his sub-jobs. Weapon of Sword, armors of heavy armor, helmet, and accessories. Now, what he's going to be able to bring to your kit, what he's going to be able to bring to your party, with his kit, he's going to be able to deal very respectable damage, very good damage, while debuffing and debilitating his opponents. He's also going to be able to buff himself and party members with HP regen and defensive abilities that will help sustain your party. So in the sense, he's kind of a combination of Ramza, Thancred, and Stern in a sense. And we'll get to all of those and we'll do a slight, reference to them. But let's start with this TMR. It's an accessory of Sacred Circlet, 362 HP, 42 attack, 6 defense, and 12 critical hit rate. But Norgoz, attack, we can't stack that. In JP, they can stack stats in the equipment section. It's not an exact science. It's not an exact percentage. Depending on what stat you're stacking, the percentages do vary. You don't get the full bonus from all of them. And I'm going to leave it that way because I'm sure that'll be adjusted from time to time. And once it comes to global, it may not be the same. And the TMR skill is going to be actually quite good. It's going to be very similar to what Ramza's shout is. Increases attack and magic for 30% for 3 turns. Cost of 36 TP, and it also does increase Brave by 10. So it also could be a way of increasing Brave beyond the 70 cap from the guild barracks as well. Moving right along to stats, he's got 2,811 HP, total TP of 120, total AP of 113, 301 attack, 174 dexterity, 55 agility, and 216 luck. The luck is going to be a very respectable amount of luck, and the character's going to get a 20% bonus to dexterity in the ability board. So the stats I gave you were including a total of his base stats, job stats, and ability board stats. In addition to those, he does get that 20% bonus to dexterity, 30 critical hit rate, and a whopping 2 defense. But the story doesn't stop there. Negative 10% to dark resistance, as to be expected. Resistance to damage is actually quite good. 20% slashing, 15% piercing. Neutral to striking. On the ranged side, however, he's going to have negative 10% to both missile and magic attacks. On the resistance regarding status ailments, 50% resistance to both paralysis and charm, which are 2 of the most debilitating debuffs in the game. In addition to that, he will have a 10% chance to resist stop. Drop and roll. Moving right along to his support skills, his Moon Paladin is going to give him 12 defense, 12% HP. Monk will give him 15% HP. And Soldier will give him self-sacrifice. 60% attack bonus, negative 8% to resistances once maxed out. Moving right along here, his counters are going to be... He's going to be getting one of the most powerful defensive abilities in the game for physical damage. It's a 20% chance to reduce damage taken by 45%. He does have 2 physical counters, however, 30% chances to proc a 121% damage mod for either a slashing or striking melee attack if you'd like to go that route. However, in his kit, I'm going to give you guys a spoiler. Moon Paladin does not have any abilities that actually add hate. So again, he is going to be an offensive-oriented unit, with a bit of support along the way. He's going to be able to do quite respectable damage, especially considering he has the soldier sub-job, but his kit is not to be taken for granted either. It's actually quite good. You're going to have situations where this is going to be able to bring potentially a lot to the table for your party. Let's start with Speed of Light. 121% damage modifier, adds 25% agility for 1 turn, and it has a 12 AP cost. This is melee range, the same as his second ability, Shining Double. Shining Double is going to be 165% damage modifier, 25% chance to inflict disable for 3 turns, and an AP cost of 20, but it does hit twice, so it's going to be able to chain a little bit. So, and of course, it does add disable, so similar to like a jamming thrust, jammer thrust, things like that. He is able to self-buff himself, similar to how Warrior of Light can, adding 12 defense and 12 spirit for 3 turns with his Protection of Light buff. 28 TP will cost you for that, and it does prevent the ability to debuff Spirit for 3 turns with the Spirit resistance that it adds as well. Moving right along to one of the things that he adds, one of his most potent or one of his most notable abilities is that he's able to use his Dedication Defense, which is a 50% shield for 3 hits at a range of 3 squares, but it has a cross AE ability on it. So buff yourself, buff your teammates for 42 TP and 25% of your HP to go along with that. You do consume 25% HP to cast that. So this is quite good. And there is another shield that I'm going to go into. I'm going to skip and we'll come back to the rest. He does have a single target one as well. Again, 3 squares, single target, reduces damage taken for 50% for 3 hits. Does consume HP 25%, but this one, however, does cost 40 TP instead of 42, both of which are going to give you immediate access to your first 2 abilities, and if you go pick Soldier, a couple of those abilities as well if you need to build TP up. Now, the reason I went to discuss these shields both at the same time is because one is allegedly have physical mitigation, one is allegedly magical mitigation. However, without it being certain at this point, there's maybe some things that may be lost in translation. I've heard that this one is going to be the initial one in his main kit. The group buff is a physical one. I've heard the single target one is magic. However, I don't want to speculate on that and give you guys misinformation because for all I know, it is a shield for all damage altogether. So I don't want to give you guys misinformation when I'm not 100% certain. So if anybody from the JP side would like to go in the comments below and please let us know for sure which one that you can actually confirm is which, please do so. I would certainly appreciate it. Sacred Knight Sword is going to be his hardest single hitting ability. 32 AP, has a substantial range to it. You're going to have 4 squares plus the cross AE, so you're going to be able to hit people 5 squares away and debuff their attack by 39% for 3 turns. This is going to be quite good. Again, only 32 AP, not bad, and you can use it 3 times per fight. Very, very good. On the sub-job section, he's going to be able to restore HP and regen it for 20% for 3 turns. Or rather, restore it rather for 3 turns. And it's going to be 20 TP, and it's going to be a cross AE for himself and party members. You're going to be able to get a line attack, front, side, or behind you for 4 squares in the form of Lightbringer, and it has a Reaper Killer mod of 25, damage modifier of 165%, 28 AP cost there. And you're going to be able to... We talked about his shield as well. So we're going to move over to the soldier section because I believe you're going to be using either Moon Paladin or Soldier in the sub-job category. Soldier is going to bring you access to more potent skills like Hazard Spin for 235% damage mod or Hazard Break for 225% damage mod, both of which are going to have varying AP costs. Hazard Spin is an AoE, PB AoE, point blank AoE right in front of you, 38 AP cost, or you can go with the Hazard Break, which has shorter range, but 29 AP cost, both of which consume 25% of your HP. However, what you do get in the soldier category that you don't get elsewhere is an attack bonus of 50% for 3 turns. You also do get Paralyzing Edge and Hard Slash if you want a couple of other abilities that are going to give you access to, something that some attacks with a little bit less AP. Moving on to the Monk section, I don't foresee Monk being super, super beneficial beyond the other 2. However, it may have its usefulness. You can use Store and Chain Up, use that as sort of like a chain finisher kind of deal, do some really big damage. If you wanted to go that route with it, it will cost you 20 TP for Store. You do also get Pummel, Terra Slash, and Surging Strike, and you're able to dispel debuffs on yourself. Again, it may have its places, but I think you're going to go with one of the other two. His limit burst, Sacred Rage, has a bit of a range to it. It's got cost of 43 AP. It does have 200% damage mod on it, the same as what Stern might have. But this allows you to stun for one turn at 67% chance. That's quite high, even with the even with the Faith Formula being added in. That is a quite good percentage to land. So, he's going to bring some utility, he's going to bring some damage, and he's going to bring some debuffs along the way. And we're going to do 3 builds. We're going to do 3 builds for him, and I'm going to do one that's sort of offensive-oriented, one that's you're directly trying to use him as a tank, and the other one you're trying to use him as a brawler that can take hits and dish them out. So, in this build, this first build, we're going to be using the Ragnarok Assault, getting an extra 162 attack, the Alexandrite Ring with accuracy for 20 accuracy. You're going to be utilizing the Sacred, and I went ahead and used this TMR for this build, getting an extra bit of crit rate, and of course the buff to see where he might sit. You'll get a little bit of defense from this as well, so getting him in to a whopping 20 defense, which is not a lot, but it's better than nothing. Now, what's going to make him set him apart here is that when you bring in Odin, again, it's going to give you 25% man killer, and you're going to get a very nice helping of slash plus 15 slashing attack here, and you're going to be able to get a little bit of accuracy, a little bit of attack up. And with this, you can change this up if you'd like to. If you'd like to sacrifice the slashing, you can go with the attack and accuracy instead. However, you're going to get more raw damage from going with the slashing attack. So, you're also going to be utilizing the Odin card here. I use this for multiple reasons. 362 HP, 142 attack, 10% man killer on top of what he's already got. That'll add together. And then the party buff of increased attack resistance. Now, these builds are going to assume this is just by himself. No additional party buffs. However, this is a party buff, and this attack resistance is very, very good. Essentially, we have a couple other options for vision cards. I will go over them. With this one, essentially, attack resistance will reduce the incoming attacks, the single hit, by about 20%. So it is quite good. So with the HP, he's going to be sitting around 4,700. He's going to have 27 starting AP, 852 attack, 20 defense, just under 200 magic, 2 spirit, 74 agility because he's using Odin, 258 dexterity, 279 luck. So again, respectable amount of dexterity and luck. I am using the 12 defense, 12% HP buff for his support, and I'm also using self-sacrifice. So this is going to be what he may look like fully buffed up. Getting 23 accuracy from here, 42 critical hit rate from here as well, 35 human killer, the 20 attack resistance. Very, very good overall offensive build that's also going to be able to help you take a little bit of damage, but deals about as much as you possibly can get. Now, there may be some other options you might think guys might come up with, and that's perfectly fine. Let me know in the comments below how you guys might build him. This next build is purely assuming you are trying to use him as a tank. Remember, he doesn't have any hate plus abilities. He is going to rely purely on Valve Love. So after the first 3 hits, he is going to lose hate, and he's not going to be able to build a very large amount of hate with his attacks. So he does have a Ragnarok again, or you can switch it up to something separate. He's going to go with the Ragnarok, going to have the golden armor for the additional 18 defense. And I went in through Whisper's TMR on here for the HP and the damage resistance. So it boosts all damage resistance by 5%, which is very nice. Went ahead and went with Golem, of course, for the additional defense and the piercing resistance. Valve Love, of course, for the hate primarily, but he is going to get 30% attack, and it will be reflected in his attack here. And you're going to be able to get 20 slashing attack on top of it, and a respectable 346 HP. So 4,900 HP here, 26 starting AP, 839 attack, 47 defense, just a little bit more magic here, 2 spirit, 62 agility, so you are sacrificing agility here to make him more tanky and try to using him as a tank, and about the same dexterity and luck as well. So he's going to get a slightly higher damage resistance here, however, and if you wanted to +5 this golden armor, he's going to be getting an extra 8 to slashing resistance. So he could have a total of 28 slashing resistance, have 30 to piercing with this build, and of course, that's all including the TMR as well. So moving right along here, this is the final build I'm going to show you guys, and we're going to go back to using his TMR. Going to use Golem again, and we're going to switch this out to the Leonis Castle card because it adds 15 defense, 15 spirit, and 6 crit rate. That, of course, goes for the party. Respectable amount of HP with this as well. Going to see similar stats here. However, he's going to go up to a whopping 62 defense, which is quite good. But remember, he doesn't have a taunt, so he can't hold hate, consistently. He is going to have about the same HP, just a little under 4,900. Starting AP is about the same. We've got 62 agility. Again, sacrificing agility because we're not using the Odin Esper. About the same dexterity and luck. You're going to get a little bit higher crit rate here at 48. And you're not going to have the accuracy as you did with the utilizing the Alexandrite ring. I use the Alexandrite ring for multiple reasons because, again, on the Alexandrite ring, without even adding any pluses to it, you automatically get 5% elemental resistance in the kit because of the way that it works. So, with that in mind, he has a lot of options that you may bring him into. And, of course, I don't think I said this. So, 758 attacks. So, you're sacrificing attack, you're sacrificing killer effects, all of those things with this particular build, but makes him a little bit more tanky, and he's going to be able to be quite tanky with this build. That said, what are you guys' thoughts? How would you utilize Cecil if you were building him? Let me know in the comments below. Are you interested in pulling Cecil, Cecil? How would you pronounce it? Cecil, Cecil, let me know. I'm sure I'm going to get a whole bunch of rage in the comments. It's Cecil! It's Cecil! I love you guys. But thank you so much for dropping by. We will be doing some more content like this in the near future. And if you like what you saw, please give us a thumbs up, subscribe, and come back and see us again. We do content regularly here for the War of the Visions world. My name is Norgoz. I appreciate you being here. I'll see you again. Take care, guys.